Okay, you know why we're here today. Who cares about the hospital? We care. Who cares about this hospital?
Be elect next time.
Whose hospital?
Our hospital.
Whose hospital?
Our hospital.
Whose NHS?
Our NHS.
Whose children's A&E?
Our children's A&E.
Whose maternity services?
Our maternity services.
Come on, a bit louder. Okay, I've great pleasure in asking Emma Lawbutt to address this protest vigil.
Do you want me to jump up there? Oh. Yeah, I'll be alright.
Don't fall off.
No, I'm falling off.
Yeah, get people around with these countries.
Afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see so many of you out here today. As you might be able to see, I've been spending quite a bit of time in our fantastic hospital recently. And I've got one message for all of you who've been involved in this campaign from the staff. They say thank you very much for everything you are doing. It is greatly appreciated. I'm proud to represent in Parliament such dedicated and passionate constituents, and it's always a pleasure for me to stand shoulder to shoulder with every single one of you. Many of you know I recently held a debate in Parliament holding this government to account for their destruction of our NHS. In that debate, I also noted the flawed consultation process here in Shields. Friends, next week, decision makers will make important decisions on the future of our hospital. I hope that they've not only listened to the public and those of us here today, but that they've listened to their own staff and their own clinicians in the hospital who are telling them there is nothing safe and there is nothing sustainable about removing vital healthcare services from the population of South Tyneside. Whose hospital is this? It's our hospital, and we're going to keep on fighting and keep on getting the message out there. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm now going to stand down before I fall again.
Thanks very much, Emma. Sorry. Thanks also to Gemma. Yeah, thanks very much, Emma, and especially under the circumstances for coming here today, addressing this crowd. And it shows your keen passion for this campaign of the whole of people of South Tyneside to save our hospital services. Our next speaker needs no introduction, but he's been right at the forefront of supporting our campaign right through previously to when we had the campaign to fight for the Jarrow Walking Centre. It's Stephen Hepburn, MP for Jarrow and Hebburn.
Do you want us to hold it? Yeah, you have to press that button.
Well, hello everybody.
Hello.
It certainly gives me a great buzz to see so many people who are dedicated, who are committed, and who are caring, and are willing to fight for the local hospital. And can I tell you now, for everyone who is here, we know that there's lots of other people who want to be here. We just listen to the cars and the buses going past beeping because there's hundreds and thousands of people would be here in spirit. I've never seen a campaign that's united people in South Tyneside since we came through the miners' strike. So well done, and thank you for coming together to fight for what is ours. And I think we need to send a few messages today to the people in suits in there who are making these decisions to the detriment of our local communities. Yeah. The first thing is, if they had fought as hard as everybody here from the very beginning for our local hospital, we wouldn't be in half as messes that we're in now. The second message is quite simple. It's our NHS, not theirs. It's our wards and units, not theirs. That our wonderful staff, whether they be consultants, doctors, nurses or support staff, not theirs. And we'll continue the fight and we'll carry it on. And the final message, as people are still going past in their cars and beeping support, is that they thought we'd get sick. They thought we'd get bored. They thought we'd give up in the face of authority. Well, let us tell them and give them a message from here today and shout it out loud. This is not the end of the campaign. It's only the end of the beginning, and we're going to carry on until we get the services that we expect in South Tyneside from our local hospital. Thank you all. You're an inspiration. Solidarity. Keep up the fight.
Thanks very much, Stephen, for that rousing speech for our campaign in South Tyneside. Our next speaker is, I can't see where she is, it's Marion Langley. She's chair of the staff side and also Unison branch secretary.
Hi everybody, on behalf of the staff at South Tyneside, I want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to you all for coming out today and supporting this vigil, giving them the support and the encouragement to take anything forward that they may have to face. Our staff are so proud to work for South Tyneside, delivering the healthcare for South Tyneside, for the people of South Tyneside. As far as we're concerned, we want to make sure that our members are heard within the organisation. We know through the consultations that took place that that wasn't the case in the beginning. We've been given reassurances that we will have that opportunity to sit down with the clinicians and make sure that we have whatever opportunity we have to put the ideas, making this health service for South Tyneside sustainable for the future. Not taking services to Sunderland isn't always the answer. We do hear that services are coming from Sunderland to South Tyneside, but we haven't seen anything of that yet. I would also like to say that we have to be in solidarity to those who are in Sunderland too. This will have a massive impact on the staff at Sunderland. It will have a massive impact on the communities at Sunderland. As far as we're concerned, our members are so important to us. We listen to what they want, and we're hoping the management of the organisation will do the same. We know that South Tyneside is a community of high deprivation. We know that South Tyneside need to have that clinical support in all sorts of ways. We also understand that the social care fund is going down, they're cutting the budget from central government, and that has to be tackled too. Our union is at the forefront of fighting to make sure that we have at every level the opportunity to put those cases forward. We need a nationally funded health service for everyone. Let's hope you can enjoy the rest of today and make sure that we've got the support of South Tyneside. As I said, this is just a minority of people who live in Shields, but I've got to say, I can honestly tell you, those staff who can't be here today send their best wishes and thanks to everyone who's participated, and long may it go on and continue until we win a fight. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Marion. We were hoping to have a Unite speaker today, but unfortunately he came into work this morning and he's the only one on in a department, so he can't come out. But it just indicates that we have support from all of the unions, and not just Unison, but Unite has also played a very important role in this campaign, as well as all of the people, all of the parties in the borough, all of the medical staff and so on, as you've heard. Is John McCabe around? John, do you want to say a few words? All right. He's just giving an interview. Okay, when he finishes that interview, we can ask John to say a few words. But don't go away, because we want to have hands across the front of the hospital. And if you weren't here when I mentioned it, we want to put our hands on this hospital. Unfortunately, we can't go inside because we've got a lot of staff with us. We haven't got quite enough to go right around the hospital. So what we're going to suggest is that we go along the front of the hospital and hold hands for our hospital. Before that happens, I just to say that, as I said before, this protest is part of an ongoing campaign. And as I mentioned before, there are so many things to do. We still want to get the support of all the organisations in the borough, and we will be writing to all organisations and to give full support to the campaign. And particularly for phase one, our journey will probably after next Wednesday enter into a legal battle if we have a case to fight that. So that's, as I said, is going to be very important. And we will be looking at our meeting on Monday to extend the Crowd Justice Fund. And the thing is, that Crowd Justice Fund is still up there, so if you want to contribute, you still can. I think it's 5,067 at the moment. Anyway, our next speaker also needs no introduction, but I will. It's John McCabe. He's the councillor for Hebburn, and has been in the forefront of our campaign right since the beginning.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I'm dressed in black, and I've got a pink shirt on, not a white shirt, because I'm a Sunderland supporter. I'm also a supporter of the NHS. As a Labour politician, the Labour Party founded the NHS, and it is our baby. Talking about babies, I'm glad that they've restored some sanity here, and we've now got the maternity unit open. Ask yourselves this question. Last year, the maternity unit at this hospital was ranked second out of 131 trusts. So how do you get to a position where you're second in the country and you get closed at Christmas? That's called undermining. It's also called bad management. And well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. The people in there that Stephen Hepburn, my MPs, refer to as the suits, they're the ones that should be closed down, and they're the ones that should be sacked. There's no way that we want local services removed. Local services should be here for everybody in the locality. And you don't have to tell people in Hebburn or Jarrow that. 45% of people in Hebburn and Jarrow don't own a car. How the hell are you supposed to get through to Sunderland if you haven't got any money and you need 3 buses to get to Sunderland Royal? Or 2 buses in a metro? But the people in there with the posh cars aren't bothered about it. I'm a taxi driver. I picked a young lady up just a matter of days ago. 2 children. Can you take me to the walking centre? Yes, I'll take you to the walking centre. I took her through Monkton Village. I got into York Avenue. I turned right. I started going up York Avenue towards York Avenue Garage. She said, "Where are you going?" I said, "The walking centre." She says, "The walking centre's in Jarrow." I says, "It's never been in Jarrow for 3 years, but..." And this is what we've got. The people over here, the people in South Tyneside, need to wake up. We need to fight, stand together, and we'll win. And that's the only message I've got today. And I keep telling people about this one. The Berlin Wall didn't come down because people sat in their backsides. It come down because people worked, they demonstrated, they got out on the streets and they said, we're not having it. And that's my message today. We're not having this hospital shut by anybody. And I mean that.
Thanks, John. Thanks for that wonderful, uplifting speech. And in fact, you can tell John used to work at West Oak Colliery, and what wonderful fighters they were for their rights. And we were in Sunderland yesterday doing petitions, and we happened to come across 3 other miners, and they're both at the heart of the college in Sunderland, fighting for the rights of the Sunderland lecturers. Okay, if we don't have any other speakers, I want to do this hands across the front of the hospital. Now, we've never done this before, so I think we're just going to have to work it out as we go along. But we want to go from the leases, if we can get to the leases, that end, and to the end of the hub here, and you can all hold hands, then we can get some photographs of that, and this will be our hands around the front of the hospital. So, is everyone up for this? And whose hospital is it anyway?
Our NHS!
Well, that's wonderful. Okay, thanks very much. Let's come back together now.